Central Otago farmers are calling on Jacinda Ardern to visit their properties in order to debate Labour's water tax plan over a cup of tea. One of the Labour leader's first election pledges was the introduction of royalties on bottled and irrigated water. It hasn't confirmed the size of the royalty, but after scaremongering the tax could lead to $18 cabbages was an example given. Labour said the rate was likely to be set at 1 or 2 cents per 1,000 litres of water for commercial irrigators. That's yet to be decided. So $18 cabbages are out, but farmers in the driest region in the country say a water tax is still an attack on them and their livelihoods. Our Otago Southern reporter Ian Telfer and videographer Rebecca Parsons-King with this report.
I was devastated on all levels. I was devastated that Labour would go so far from what I thought that they stood for, and I was devastated that people were going to punish farmers who were trying.
That's Maniototo sheep and beef farmer Francine Hoare, who says she's gutted by Labour's water royalty plan. So much that she and some friends made a video for the party's new leader.
Hi Jacinda, it doesn't seem that long ago since you burst onto the political scene. It was the highlight of our week watching you and Simon Bridges debating on the Friday morning breakfast show. We admired the way that you were authentic to your beliefs. This is why we find it hard to imagine that you are prepared to follow David Parker's lead on the proposed water tax and believe that it is low cost.
Well, they haven't said how much it's going to cost, have they? And then they said maybe a cent, maybe 2 cents for 1,000 litres. Would that kind of amount, would that be a problem for you?
It's a big problem. So at 2 cents a litre, the Maniototo, it would be $2.3 million. There's only 1,200 people that live in the Maniototo. $2.3 million is $2.3 million people around here don't have.
Debbie Patterson raises sheep and beef at nearby Gimmerburn. She says this could be the end for her family's farm.
We can't afford it, really. We would have to make changes on our farm to make that money up. So that would be increasing stock numbers. And my husband would consider moving off.
So has this become an election issue here?
To me, it has, yep. And to be honest, this will be one of the first elections I've sort of been really into it. And really, it's been the one thing that's kind of got me standing up and getting interested in it. And it's something that's going to hurt us.
Does it put you off Labour?
Yeah, definitely.
Francine Hoare says it's time for Labour to come out and see them.
I'd like Jacinda Ardern to turn up in the Maniototo and come and have a cup of tea with me and talk to me about how she thinks this policy is right, how this looks like Labour, how this has gone against what I believe Labour to be.
Now the Mayor of Central Otago, Tim Cadogan's taken up their fight.
Certainly amongst the rural community in Central Otago, it is of major, major concern. They're really, really upset about this, and I think it is that inherent New Zealand sense of fairness. We need to do something as a country, absolutely, but how is this fair? How's it fair to take the driest region and say, because you don't get rain, you have to irrigate, that's our way of capturing money from you to pay for problems in other areas? The answer to our pollution problems is to find the polluters and absolutely spank them for it, and also make sure that we have standards in place.
But not everyone's against it. And Alexandra archaeologist Matthew Soul says the Mayor is wrong, and Central Otago's rivers are getting worse too.
You only have to look at the data and you measure the quality of the water at the headwaters and you measure the water down the catchment, and they aren't the same. So what's causing that?
Matthew Soul says such a precious resource should have an environmental price.
You know, if you borrow something, as in the water, if you're not putting it back in the same condition or better, you've got to do something about that. And so I see, this is something in the right direction.
Jacinda Ardern standing firm on the policy.
We do want to work together. We have said that we expect it will cost between 1 and 2 cents per 1,000 litres, but I do want to sit down with those affected and work through the effects on them specifically. I want to work this through. So whether that happens in the next 2 weeks, it will certainly happen in the aftermath, absolutely.
That's Jacinda Ardern ending that report from Ian Telfer.